When we first spoke for my profile, you talked about how you first became curious about wine as a young player. What was it that really kind of made you passionate about it and decided to, collect and taste and learn more?
Well, my journey was a little bit more hectic than that. I got into the wine industry because I tell this story all the time. I just got tired of spending money on in auctions and I see my bills and the invoices, and I'm sure my accountants didn't like that at a certain time. So I just figured out a way how to, I started buying wines that I just enjoyed to drink at that point in time, and I would collect them, and I didn't know what I was buying. I just was told, this is Dominus back in 2005, right? And this is Etude in '06. And so those were, I started out in that region, just drinking wine. And then I said one day, man, I went to my partner. I said, I want to just start my own wine. I want to make my own, blend my own wine. I got traded to New York, and the wine people that I was around, the palace that I was around, they were major palace. So it was intimidating palace. So I figured if I could impress my wine group, which was 8 to 10 to 12 people, that I have an opportunity to do something in the wine industry. And if they approve it, then with the palates that they have, then I'm in a good space. So,
Yeah.
that's how my wine journey started. Then I just became a student of the industry and just really wanted to learn the industry. I really wanted to dive into the industry. I've been studying the industry for almost 15 years. And it took us to 2017 to actually make a wine. So that just goes to show you that the journey of what it takes to actually make one wine is special.
Yeah, it's not an easy or a quick process. For your first collaboration, you started in Châteauneuf-du-Pape
Yes.
with the Oseglio family.
Yes.
How did that come about exactly, and why Châteauneuf?
Well, Châteauneuf, that's one of my favorite wines. The Grenache grape is one of my favorite grapes that's out there. And I always said, nobody is paying attention to the Châteauneuf world anymore. And once I started, taking a deep dive into the industry and just learning the different grapes and varietals, I wanted to go back to that Rhone Valley and really connect with that and touch base with that. And again, I knew that if I can establish a really, really good CDP, then I'm getting into the industry, on the right foot. And we took our time with that, man. It wasn't, just making a CDP it wasn't easy. It could be tough at times to make a CDP. But for us, we felt like we hit that right point where we was ready to share it with the world.
So I think everybody has the wine by now. This is the Châteauneuf-du-Pape Oath of Fidelity 2020. And also last night and also tonight, Mello and Asani are going to be pouring their white Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which got 91 points. And if you didn't have a chance to taste it last night, please try it tonight. It's beautiful. I don't think there's enough great white Châteauneuf out there on the market.
It was scary, too, making a white Châteauneuf. It's
Why?
very scary making a white Châteauneuf. Because the Grenache is an intimidating grape too, right? And if you get it, you get it, and it dances with you if you get it right. But making a CDP Blanc was something totally different, And I just wanted to go left field and say, hey, I'm in the industry, and it's really about just touching these grapes and seeing what we can possibly do and how creative we can get to make that CDP Blanc. So it's very special, man. We poured it last night. Great response, and a lot of people were surprised to taste a white CDP. So it was special to be a part of.
Yeah, I think it's great. You opened some eyes and taught people something.
Yes.
Where does the name VIN, the Seventh Estate, come from, and Oath of Fidelity for the Châteauneuf?
Yeah, well, VIN, I mean, if you look at it, it's Roman numeral it says 7 if you really look at it. That's why the N is in parentheses, and you can see the Roman numeral 7 with the N closing it off. So it was just something how we can just play off of the number 7 in a more creative way, as opposed to just throwing it in your face and putting the number 7 on the bottle. Oath of Fidelity came about because we started out in the production world. We in production companies, and we into documentaries and storytelling. And Toussaint Louverture from Haiti, that story, we always wanted to tell his story. We wanted to write a book. We wanted to tell a documentary. And just one day as we creating this brand, is like, what's the story that we're going to tell? And I'm like, you know what? Being a student, we went back and realized and figured out all the history with Tucson and down in Chateauneuf, and that history that transpired and which we know today. But Chateauneuf, that area was where Tucson captured that, right? So we went back to the history of Châteauneuf-du-Pape and the castle of the Pope, and wanted to be able to tell that whole history, but also dig deep behind the layers of it. Peel back those layers and really tell a real good story as you drinking the wine. So wine is conversational. So I could sit here and talk to you, drink a good glass of wine, and talk about Tucson at the same time. So you talk about making wine, you talk about storytelling, you talk about curating, but Oath of Fidelity is one of those names that Tucson had his followers take an oath, and the name of the oath was Oath of Fidelity. So I'm asking you guys to take an oath to 7th Estate today. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I think that Oath of Fidelity was really, it's symbolic because it was about giving to a higher cause.
Yes, it was deeper than us. Yes.
And I know that you have personally, and Asani, made it really important to kind of make it a cause to open wine to new people, to bring in different perspectives, to bring in new wine drinkers, which is something I think we can all agree the industry needs right now.
Finish your question?
Well, it was more a thought, but I'd like to know why that was so important to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important to get into an industry, who the wine industry is such a great industry, and a lot of times you just get a negative connotation about it. Sometimes it's stuffy. Sometimes it's gatekeepers. Sometimes it's with us, it was like, how can we merge these two worlds? We have a younger generation who's getting into wine and wanting to drink wine and wanting to learn about these different varietals and grapes and these different regions, and this younger generation really don't know. So I have an opportunity to kind of be the bridge between an old world and kind of this new world of philosophies. So I like to say we the conduit to that. So our motto is the old world meets the new world, right? And we try to bring you those experiences. We try to introduce you to white CDP. We have a guida that we did, and people probably like, what the hell is a guida? But we touch in these regions that people are afraid to touch.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that next. That you started with the Rhone wines.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, this is ambitious. And then you partnered with Robert Mondavi Winery to make a Napa Valley Cabernet.
Yes.
And then you also have some Bordeaux's and Burgundies that you're just starting to introduce. Why do so many different regions, so many different types of wine?
Well, the world is so big, man, and there's so many different wine regions that's out there. And again, we talk about the grape varietal. There's so many great varietals that's out there. So why just hold ourselves to a couple grapes? Like let's go touch the world. Let's open up to the world and see what we can really do. It don't always have to be traditional. I don't want to go the traditional route. I would like to work with as many people as possible around the world and create moments and storytelling, create great wine. I don't want to just be tied to just one brand or one wine. So we have the flexibility to go to Australia and make a wine, in South Africa and Spain and Chile and in Argentina. So these are all areas that we strategize about it. We say, hey, what's the next region we want to go to? What's the next area we want to go to? And when you're able to move as nimble as Venice 7th Estate is, then you want to just, sky's is the limit at that point. So you want to try different things, and if it fails, it fails. But what's failure at the end of the day? We just tried, and hey, we didn't like this. We didn't like this bottle, right? So we're gonna go to the next one. So I don't think it's about failing for us. It's just about experimenting and just going out there and doing the best we can do.
Yeah, I think that any winemaker will tell you that trial and failure is a big part of it. Yeah. So can you give all of us in the audience a sneak peek? Which region will we see a wine from next? Is it too early to say?
I said one of them, and when I mentioned the other regions.
Yeah. Okay.
I mentioned one of them.
So we got a little hint.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take that for now. I'll ask for that phone call though when you make the decision. So you've already worked with some amazing winemakers, with Stefano Seglio in Châteauneuf, with Curtis Agasawara at Robert Mondavi.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't answer that question. Going back to Robert Mondavi, it was just a testament of like, hey, we went to the Rhone Valley. We know what the CDP is. Let's get back to that old world, right? Let's bring a new twist to the nostalgia of Robert Mondavi. And we went out there and we spent a lot of time out there, and we spent a lot of time blending. And you realize working with a brand like Robert Mondavi and working with Vendor 7th Estate is totally different. So you understand what you have to do. It's the winemakers is different. The thought process is different. You have to follow certain protocol for the brand, and there has to be a lot of alignment in making those wines, or collaborating, I would say. But I would say that the Robert Mondavi collaboration that we did, that blend is a proprietary blend from from Tokalan. So it was good because we got a chance to go out there and pick the best of the best in that region. And we made a great proprietary blend. I mean, the name of that wine is Ode to Soul, right? And we call that Ode to Soul because we're just giving back and we're paying homage to, you know, the winemakers before us and the shoulders that we actually stand on in this industry.
Yeah, I think that's worth applauding to. Last question before we let you go. If you could go back and tell that young Mello who was just starting to drink white wine as a young player, you know, what this business is like and what it takes to make wine, and what the obstacles, but also the benefits are, what would you tell them?
Well, make sure that you want to get into this industry. And, you know, for one, you know, most people would tell you to stay the hell away from the industry. And when you hear that, you wonder why. You know, so I would tell, you know, my younger self, like, be curious, you know, and go search and understand what you're getting into, but also find your balance, right? Winemaking is hard, man. I'm sure I'm telling everybody here who makes the wine, they know winemaking is hard. It's a lot of things that we have to face in this industry that is out of our control, right? So we have to just bear with it and stick with it. For me, it's about longevity. It's about creating this journey. It's about creating an opportunity to help others in the wine industry. It's an opportunity to collaborate with others in this industry. So it's a fun industry if you allow it to be fun. If you go into it stressful, it's going to be stressful. That's with anything in life store. But just be, you know, have some joy with it. It's fun, man. You get to drink wine, make wine, come in here at 8 o'clock in the morning and drink wine. It's like, this is the best thing of all time. This is way better than playing basketball. I'm enjoying my retirement. I'll tell you that, because I would never ever. I would get ridiculed for waking up 10 o'clock drinking a glass of wine. So this is beautiful.
Well, I think that's one of the great things of wine is curiosity will carry you to places you never expected.
Absolutely.
So cheers, Mello. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Cheers to everybody that's out there. Thank you.